Julius Caesar, a name that resonates through history, evoking admiration, fear, and debate. He is remembered as one of the greatest military leaders Rome ever produced, a shrewd and ambitious politician, and, to some, a would-be tyrant who threatened the foundations of the Roman Republic. To understand Caesar, one must examine the full scope of his life, his early years, military conquests, political career, reforms, and ultimate assassination. Caesar was born in 100 BCE into the patrician Julian family, a lineage that claimed descent from the goddess Venus. Although noble, his family's influence and wealth were modest, and his childhood coincided with a turbulent period in Roman history. Rome was torn by political rivalries, social upheavals, and violent purges, particularly during the dictatorship of Sulla. Caesar's family suffered under Sulla's proscriptions, and the young Caesar narrowly escaped execution. These early experiences instilled in him a keen understanding of both danger and opportunity, shaping the ambitious, cautious, and sometimes ruthless character that would define him from an early age. Caesar displayed intelligence, charisma, and a hunger for achievement. He pursued a political path, entering Rome's complex system of offices known as the cursus honorum, starting as a military officer and gradually ascending to higher political positions. Caesar used charm, alliances, and careful calculation to navigate the treacherous Roman political arena. He was known for his eloquence, his generosity toward allies, and his ability to cultivate loyalty among soldiers and citizens alike. Caesar's rise coincided with a period when the Republic was struggling to balance power among its elite and the growing influence of the common people. Ambitious generals often wielded armies that were more loyal to them personally than to the Senate, creating a tension that would ultimately define Caesar's career. One of Caesar's most defining achievements was his military genius. From 58 BCE to 50 BCE, he led the Gallic Wars, a series of campaigns that expanded Rome's territory deep into modern-day France, Belgium, and parts of Switzerland. These campaigns were characterized by remarkable strategic planning, rapid maneuvering of troops, and decisive engagements with enemy tribes. Caesar was also adept at psychological warfare, often securing loyalty through diplomacy, gifts, and promises, while punishing resistance with calculated brutality. His incursions across the Rhine and even into Britain demonstrated a daring vision that few Roman leaders had attempted. The Gallic Wars made Caesar immensely popular with the Roman populace and secured the loyalty of his legions. He skillfully documented his campaigns in the commentaries on the Gallic War, which not only chronicled his military actions, but also served as propaganda to enhance his reputation. Yet his growing power made many senators uneasy, who feared that his personal army and immense popularity threatened the traditional republican system. Caesar's political maneuvers were as calculated as his battlefield tactics. He formed the first triumvirate with Pompey, a respected general, and Crassus, a wealthy politician. This informal alliance allowed him to achieve the consulship and pursue reforms that benefited both the people and his own position. He redistributed land to veterans and the poor, restructured debt, and enacted policies to improve Rome's infrastructure. These measures won him the support of ordinary citizens, but drew the ire of the aristocracy, who viewed his actions as undermining the Senate's authority. As Caesar's influence grew, tensions with Pompey escalated. The death of Crassus removed the balancing force within the triumvirate, and political conflict reached a breaking point. When the Senate, influenced by Pompey and other rivals, ordered Caesar to disband his army and return to Rome as a private citizen, he faced a stark choice: crossing the Rubicon River in 49 BCE with his loyal legions, Caesar initiated a civil war that would determine the future of Rome. He reportedly declared, "The die is cast," acknowledging that there could be no turning back. The ensuing civil war showcased Caesar's military brilliance and strategic flexibility. He defeated Pompey's forces in a series of engagements, culminating in Pompey's flight to Egypt, where he was ultimately killed. Caesar then pursued campaigns in Africa and Spain to eliminate remaining opposition. Each victory consolidated his authority. Yet his accumulation of power also intensified fears that he sought kingship, a concept abhorrent to Romans who had long rejected monarchy. After emerging victorious, Caesar was appointed dictator, initially for 10 years, and eventually for life. He embarked on sweeping reforms designed to stabilize Rome and enhance governance. He restructured the debt system, reformed the calendar into the Julian calendar, centralized administrative functions, and enacted policies that promoted merit over birthright. He opened opportunities for talented individuals from lower classes, challenging the traditional social hierarchy. Caesar's supporters celebrated him as a visionary leader, a man capable of bringing order to a fragmented republic. Critics, however, saw him as a threat to liberty, consolidating power in ways that resembled monarchy. His acceptance of honors, statues, and unprecedented authority alarmed many senators, fueling a conspiracy that would culminate in his assassination. On March 15th, 44 BC, the Ides of March, Caesar was stabbed to death by a group of senators, including Brutus and Cassius, who justified their actions as a defense of the Republic. They hoped to restore the Senate's authority. Yet the deed plunged Rome into another series of civil wars, ultimately leading to the rise of the Roman Empire under Caesar's heir, Octavian, later known as Augustus. Despite his death, Caesar's legacy endured. He transformed Rome from a fragile republic into a centralized state, capable of governing vast territories. His military tactics are still studied in academies around the world, and his political strategies remain a benchmark for ambition, leadership, and power. Caesar reshaped Rome not only through conquest, but also through law, infrastructure, and institutional reform. Was Julius Caesar a conqueror, a politician, or a tyrant? In truth, he was all three. He conquered lands and peoples, mastered the political arena, and, in the eyes of some, wielded power in ways that threatened the Republic itself. His life demonstrates the complexities of ambition and leadership, reminding us that history is rarely black and white. Caesar's brilliance, ambition, and controversial choices left a mark on the world that echoes through the centuries, proving that one man can indeed change the course of history.